Back to the Blerdiverse. We are back here today. We are going over some brackets. We're going to rank some of these cartoons here. Some of these are classics. Some of these are really great. Some of these are piss poor, but we're going to see it from Cartoon Network to Disney to Nickelodeon, and we're going to all rank them together. It's what's saying rank them together. It's me, the homie Krishan. We're holding down Blerdiverse today. Krishan, talk to the people.
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm here, ready to rank some cartoons.
Heck, man, it's gonna be a little controversial because I guarantee some takes that we like, a lot of people's fan bases will get crazy.
All right, well let's get this started then.
It is
Lead
what
the
it
way.
is. So let's go over here first. We see Over the Garden Wall versus Phineas and Ferb. Personally, I've never seen Over the Garden Wall. I've heard about it. It's supposed to be really good, but I've never seen it. I've seen Phineas and Ferb, so I'll go with Phineas and Ferb. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, there's really no discussion need to be had there. I haven't seen that either, so Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb gonna be hard to beat. You gotta love the songs. You gotta love all that. Phineas and Ferb is just a good time.
Heck, man, big facts, big facts. All right, Phineas and Ferb is our first pick. Let's go over to the right. We got Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated
Mm,
versus Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Now, personally, Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, that's the first show to take Scooby Doo beyond just episode by episode basis to make this a full show with a plot, backstories, character development, and it all worked perfectly and everything as far as from start to finish. And it's a great show.
hmm
However, Ed, Ed and Eddie is goaded as a hilarious ass cartoon. Like I rewatch that probably once a year or whatever because it's just so hilarious. Like yeah. So I mean, it'll be Ed, Ed and Eddie for me. How about you, bro?
So Ed and Eddie, I've noticed I was never. Well, here's the thing: I didn't grow up with Cartoon Network. When I was a bit of a history lesson, when I was a kid, up until probably middle school, I was only allowed to watch Toon Disney. So I'm a big Toon Disney type kid growing
Uh,
up, but I never really got into Ed and Eddie growing up. But like from what I'm seeing and like what I've been introduced to it now more so, it is funny and it does have it's like the I would say it's like in terms of like people that people quote or people
yeah,
use, it's like probably like Nickelodeon SpongeBob in terms of there's a lot of memes, there's a lot of things that people like bring back up with the characters and stuff like that. And even though it's not as big as SpongeBob, it's still kind of like that. Now, Mystery Incorporated, everything you said was definitely correct and all that, but I have to give that Ed and Eddie.
hey, bro, we on the same page, bro. Ed, Ed and Eddie, bro. I mean, great show. I'm happy that they took it to there. I wish they could have another show like that as far as for Scooby Doo. Because now they got back to the basic formula as far as like, okay, we're going to adventure, whatever, whatever, and it's getting more derpy as time goes along. Long,
Yeah.
as long as we don't introduce Scrappy Doo back, I'm okay with it. So
Well,
yeah,
Scrappy Doo, as long as Scrappy Doo has a very, if they make him interesting.
yeah, you never know. All right, let's get back over here. Kim Possible versus Ben 10.
Now this one's gonna be a rough one. I can already tell.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This might offend some people, but it ain't a competition to be. Ben 10 is that nigga.
Yeah, yeah, nah. Ben
Bro,
10, so
like
good.
Ben 10's so good. I mean, like the intro, the character development, like OG Ben 10 was such a goated ass show and everything. Like it started off like he had his adventures and you get some more character development for Ben. He gets more aliens, he learns more responsibility. His cousin gets powers. His granddad's revealed to be like a secret service alien hunter or whatever. And it's this dope ass show. And that leads off to Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, which was Alien Force was good. Ultimate Alien ended all right, but as long as we didn't talk about Omniverse was trash, like
Omniverse was okay. I went back and rewatched it. It's actually not that bad. It has like a lot of interesting premises in it, Ben actually controlling Alien X and
yeah,
things of that nature. And it does have a bit of things like I know Ben's love interest that was
yeah,
kind of like messy and stuff. But when I went back and watched it, I actually enjoyed it. It was actually very interesting. And that's probably like if you look at like how powerful Ben is, Omniverse is really where he gets a lot of the scaling from of him being like him contending against like characters like Goku and things like that where
yeah,
he has like dumb feats. But I mean, in terms of this fight, I would have to give the Ben 10 to Kim Possible is very good,
It
and
is that
it's
the
good for
intro.
it. But yeah, but I think Ben just has like it has more going for it, I would
Yeah,
say, and very colorful characters, and just the development from the beginning into the end, because we would only be counting, I think it's only fair that we count the season that it's presenting us. Then
yeah,
obviously the whole show, obviously because it's done more than Kim Possible, but it
yeah.
does well to kind of develop the story and develop these aliens to like where you get to the point at the very end of the series, and I think it's very good.
That's the big facts about it. I mean, Omniverse to me, the only reason why I didn't like it because like when you had the other ones, when they had like the big event and all that, it like Omniverse lacked a certain oomph to it, like gravitas. Like we know Ben's gonna win and everything, yes, but like make it a little bit more like oh and everything. That's the only reason why I didn't like Omniverse for me. But as far as the OG Ben 10 versus Kim Possible, yeah, it's Ben 10 over here and all that. Ooh, now this is gonna be interesting right here. Adventure
Yeah.
Time versus American Dad. Now, American Dad is still on currently. It's like I think 19th or 20th season or something like that. Like the show's on for years. Started in like 2005, so we're going on 16 years it's been on.
Hmm.
It's been good. It's been good on TB. It's on TBS currently. It's been good too, as far as like they have new episodes. Some of the new episodes are all right. Like New American Dad is actually. I'll say this. You can add me on this. New American Dad is a lot better than New Family Guy.
Oh no, you can. I've always thought, and you can at me on this too. I've always preferred American Dad to Family Guy, even like early on American Dad. Like
I ain't gonna go
rewatching a
that
lot of the old.
far.
I've watched a lot of like old American Dad, and I've just enjoyed it a bit better than like early Family Guy. Even though like for me, for my peak of Family Guy is not like the early first couple seasons, but kind of like that mid ground.
That's what I'm saying. The mid
Uh,
ground is like the perfect part
yeah.
for me.
Hmm.
Like I literally love that part and everything. American Dad currently is good and everything, but versus Adventure Time. Now, Adventure Time, like it starts off, it's all good and everything. Then they develop so many plot points, so much character development, so many good memories from Finn that when he loses his arm, he gets a grass arm, Fern, Princess Bubblegum, Jake,
Hmm.
kids, Marceline, Ice King, and then Glob itself. And it's just I just like I'm still kind of like I don't even know which way to really go on this though.
I mean, this is like, unfortunately, this is like a very hard one of comparison, I would say, because
Yeah,
they're obviously both two different things.
yeah.
I mean, just from an enjoyable standpoint, I think I'm about, if I would have to say where I'm at Adventure Time, I'm probably like halfway through. Probably like when Finn lost his grass arm was probably like when I kind of like stopped watching it, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what was happened last time I was watching it, and I kind of just like I got to get back into it. But and I've seen a lot of American Dad. I do like though understand the appeal for Adventure Time and stuff like that. I mean, just in terms of
Like putting it on, you could just leave it on and everything. I would say American Dad.
yeah, yeah, American Dad obviously the biggest flaw I would say Adventure Time has, and it's not it's like and it's this is more of a time where streaming services weren't really a thing when it was coming out. Like it wasn't as heavily put, is when you're waiting live to see every show
Yeah,
and every episode. Adventure Time, the reason why I kind of fell out of it was because you can miss 2 3 episodes and not know what the heck is going on, because so much stuff will be going on before. And like I take another show on this list, regular show for the most part was kind of the same, but regular show story was a bit more streamlined, where
yep.
you could kind of come in on different parts.
Parts
There
and
was still an
everything.
overarching plot like
Yep.
that was happening with like the relationship struggles
Rules and all
and
that.
just things and all that until you get to the very end, which we'll save for that
Yeah.
discussion. But Adventure Time, in terms of like, if you watch a random episode, there may be characters, there may be 2 3 episodes later, you may not understand what's the premise or what's going on because
Yep.
you missed one episode, and that one episode could be crucial, or it could just be an episode that doesn't really mean that much.
Yep.
So I mean, overall, I would say the better show personally will probably just be Adventure Time, just because
Yeah.
of storytelling and all that stuff. I would say just more to put on and enjoyable would be American Dad. But I think for in this discussion's case,
As far as like the
I would
best
have to.
cartoon, we had to go with Adventure
Yeah,
Time then.
yeah. That's if we're ranking it like that, which I feel like that we are in terms of like what the
Yeah,
cartoon's actually doing. Because then, yeah, I would still say Adventure Time would be, up there. So
like definitely Adventure Time. Literally, like sometimes, like it started off like it's all over the place, it's random, it's cool and everything until they started getting like more plot points. And as the later seasons go on, they have like themes and everything. As far as like you have Finn meeting his mom, you have finding out where Susan Strong comes from, you have Marceline's background, you have Ice King's background, Princess Bubblegum's background. That they had like a whole bunch of different events and everything. The only thing is just like you said, like some after it gets like to later seasons, you have to literally watch every episode because you'll sit here, wait, Finn lost his arm, and then after that, oh, he has his arm back and everything. Okay, who the hell's Fern? And then after all the other stuff. But American Dad is good. It still did give me, it still did ruin my life when I saw Roger hooking up with Klaus. But yeah,
yeah.
that shit was disgusting.
Yeah. Now this one is gonna be a very, 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 very
Now
interesting one.
this is
And
interesting, but
hmm
it to me it's like it's not a competition, regular show. But like OG, like the first three seasons, like Total Drama Island, Action and World Tour, great moments, cool, yes, 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 great characters. It was like a reality show for. It was a reality show. I'm not gonna say for kids because it wasn't. Most parts on that show were not for kids.
oh yeah, I mean
Like,
they really got away with a lot of stuff that really they shouldn't have got away with,
remember
but
the
they did.
time. Like, remember the time Heather was like topless and everything.
Yeah,
Harold put her like what's name Harold. Well, something happened with her shirt and everything. She was topless, and that like the whole like a lot of puke, barf, and everything, and
yeah,
all the dead animals, and then they will flick each other off, and I was like they'll say like literally like the funny thing is this show will come on like late night, like around I'll say 8:30 ish or whatever, or like 9, right before it goes to Adult Swim. So that's the reason why I feel like they got away with it a little bit more. Because if it was on like regular daytime, like 4 p.m., and a parent could go by and like, oh, you watching? What the hell is going on here? I feel like it wouldn't got away with it. But regular show did take that step that they made and took it a step further. And as far as regular show, I fucking love regular show. I love that show with a passion. I'm,
yeah.
I'm
I
happy
definitely agree.
JG Quinta, what's the name? Close Enough's been renewed for a second season. It comes out 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know it was that close. Close Enough is very interesting because you can tell that when Close Enough was made, a lot of the stuff that the episodes are on is very outdated,
Yeah.
but it still has that like that Quintel charm from regular show that it really just feels like you're watching a more adult regular show.
It is. It's
Really.
like it feels like it's that process. Like you've been watching the show since you were little, and the show has grown with you. And it's like you remember, like it's back in middle school, high school, college, watching this, and now it's grown, and you're grown, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you still here, bro. So
hmm
show for
And
me,
like I love TDI. TDI is like that's a classic season of all that. But it's kind of the same thing. It's just like regular show just has way too much like merit to it to really put it down below regular show.
yep,
Or you know what I mean, regular show putting TDI like over it. Like TDI is a very good classic, but
yeah,
yeah,
like because like TDI first season good, like yeah, it was Owen and Gwen wasn't Owen one, and then after that we had TDA, TDWT. Then they had like Revenge, what's
yeah,
and all that, which got a little convoluted, but we already know what's going on. Regular
yeah.
show. Now this, you want to have to get this for me because I have not seen either or.
So okay, I've not seen Gravity Falls at all. I've heard that show's gonna be is very good.
I've heard both great things
And
about both shows.
Star I did watch a bit of. I kind of stopped watching behind the second season, but I know for Star versus the Forces of Evil, for what I've seen and what I've researched, it's very good, but it has a very like it falls off toward the first two seasons I hear are always like really good. And I seen the whole first season, and the whole first season was amazing, and the second season was good. But I've done like watch different reviews and stuff on like the third and fourth seasons, and from I would have to still see it myself, but to me it sounds kind of iffy if it's actually good. I mean, in general, if I want to talk about consistency based off of just what I know, I would just say Gravity Falls. Even though I've never seen it, I've heard like through it.
I've just heard a good through the grapevine a lot of great thing about Gravity
Yeah,
and everything. It's like the kid Rick and Morty or some shit like that.
I've seen episodes, and I've seen the one with the Street Fighter guy in a couple episodes. So for what I've seen, it's pretty good. And then what I know from it and what I've seen is that through and through throughout the whole series, it's very, very, very solid. And I think it's like really good. So I would just put that over Stars just because of consistency and stuff like that. Just because I know Star versus the Forces of Evil has a very good start, but then toward the middle and the end, it kind of fades out
Heck
and
man,
doesn't end as strong. So,
I'm
I
all
mean,
for it
one of
and
these are
everything.
probably going to get replaced by
This
something
definitely
anyway.
is
So,
because it definitely is because like I haven't seen it. So what goes for the moment being, and we move on to the next one. So SpongeBob versus Powerpuff Girls. Now SpongeBob, OG SpongeBob, not the new shit. OG SpongeBob is like one of the greatest cartoons of all. There's no debate for that and everything.
yeah.
It crushes anything. Powerpuff Girls, the original, what's saying? Well, this is the original series. So it doesn't have the reboot and everything. It's a great show and everything. It's a good thing of a classic era of Cartoon Network. But I'm at to go SpongeBob. Like, literally, it's not really a competition for that for me.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are classics, but I just think SpongeBob has like more of an impact, and even to this day, a lot of the old episodes that came out when we were kids
Yep.
are still relevant to this
And
day,
yep.
and that's the biggest thing.
And they're even getting like they're memed out or something. Is just like SpongeBob is just OG.
Yeah, so I go with SpongeBob.
Yep. All right. Dexter's Laboratory versus Steven Universe. Now, this is interesting as far as they're two different eras. Don't get me wrong, it's not a competition. Steven's the better show. Like it's a great show overarching and everything. It's just Dexter's a great thing of a good time and everything. It's funny, it's all over the place and everything. And I love that era. And I would love to see it go to the next round. But Steven Universe, like the original, like the first part of the series and everything. I'm not talking about in the future because the future was a waste of time, in my opinion. We did not need that shit. It literally accomplished nothing except more crying, more emotions, and everything. Did not improve any character flaw. Well, same introduce more character flaws which were not necessary, and really wasted time. Like my thing is, if they want to do Steven Universe future, my main thing is I always wanted the one thing the whole what's say fandom wanted was for Rose Quartz, aka Pink Diamond, to finally have that 101 with Steven and everybody to atone, talk about what happened and everything. Cool, cool, cool. But that never happened. And it was just Steven. Well, I mean, I went through a lot, so I'm not really feeling good and I'm gonna fuck some shit up. And just give me a hug and I'll be all right. And then they hugged him and he was all right. And I was like, why you waste?
Well, I put it as I say for a future, and I've actually had this discussion like recently about how I feel. Steven Universe as a whole product of everything is a good series. I don't think it's great, but it's a good series for
Yep,
what it is. And for me, future, for me more so, I don't hate it because I for the story that they were trying to tell, they told that well, and I give them that. In terms of that, is that what we needed or wanted? No,
yeah,
but I do understand where they were coming from that story and kind of bringing back that like yeah as a kid the stuff that is happening to him is traumatizing and all that and it was more so a mental health issue if anything and I respect that
yeah.
but my more so issue with it was just like it seemed like it was a lot of missed potential with the show
It was.
and more so it was just like the B team didn't really get anything a lot of questions wasn't answered of what happened during the gap and stuff. Spinell, the character they had spent the whole movie to build up, just amounts to nothing in the series. And it
Yep,
was just a lot of missed opportunities. For what they gave us, it was okay. Like the first, like my thing with Steven Universe Future, I think the first couple episodes with Jasper with
That was okay. Like once we
with
gave her some
the
character development, she showed like she's growing. She's gonna join the squad. Everything that's cool. I was okay with that. But my thing is
that
overarching thing though.
yeah, the overarching thing was just it's just like the story they were trying to tell wasn't what people were expected, and what they were trying to tell, I do understand. I think they told that well because I was understanding, this is serious issues, and I understand what they're trying to tell. Is that what we needed? No, but that's
Yeah,
just what the story. That's what we got. So
yeah,
for what we got, I thought that was good. Like I think Steven Universe Future started off really strong, and then kind of plateaued in the middle, and then just kind of dropped a little bit at the end. But it was just
yeah,
like, okay, it was decent enough. Well, I'm just like, I don't hate it because I don't, I understand what they were trying to do. And then, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I can understand this, what they're going through. I've been through something similar, with, just not wanting to get help and stuff. And I understand that. I see people doing that. Is that one that I wanted to see? No, I wanted to see a bit more of the lore explored. Like that episode I mentioned, the one with Pink Pearl and the one with all the other rose quartz were very good, interesting things that not only explain what they were trying to go for, but
yeah,
also include a lot of lore and questions that we had asked, like what
yeah.
happened to all those rose quartz. We
Records.
got those answers, but at the same time, it just kind of like went a bit off the rail from what people was expecting. Like Lapis got a pretty good episode,
Yeah,
but Peridot was the one that didn't really get anything. Bismuth got a okay kind of episode, but I wish we could have got a bit more insight on like what happened in between the time that he was out
after like yeah,
afterwards.
what's saying him exploring the universe, other gems going, smoothing over stuff, helping them out, saying like, hey, we ain't trying to take over people, trying to be cool to people and everything.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. So I mean, overall, I think it was good. It wasn't. It definitely was like, to me, it's not hitting like Avatar: Last Airbender greatness or things like
Yeah,
that. But it was still a good series. I still love the series to death. But
yeah,
Steven Universe definitely is going to be my pick for this too.
yeah,
Going off topic, but
yeah.
now this one should be easy because I never even
All
seen the
right, what the hell is
Paradise.
paradise? So
It's some Netflix series, but I mean South Park just wins by default.
we already know that like South Park's just a goated ass show. Like even like OG South Park's great and newer South Park's great because they're getting more like current events and everything, and like the way they work is just top tier and everything. So we can skip that. So next one, I remember this show. It was good, but nowhere near this good. I remember the show like Jetix back in the day and everything.
I definitely I rewatched the whole series back in 2016, um, just off of a whim because I believe it was like all on YouTube or something,
Yeah.
and you can find like old Toon Disney shows on YouTube, and I basically went back and rewatched the whole series, and honestly, the way it ended, unfortunately, it didn't end well in terms of like, well, it ended well, and the story for what they told was good, but basically it ends with them going into like an all-out war with their allies against the Skeleton King after
Mm-hmm.
like the struggles that they've been going through for the first episode. It's only 26 episodes. And but then it just ends at that. You don't know what happens next. So they
That
were probably
sucks.
presuming that it was probably assuming that they were expecting to get a second season
But they
and they didn't.
didn't. Heck,
So
man. It'd be
I
like that.
mean, being Rick and Morty is just, it's a different tier in its own. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that was like I said, that ending was kind of reminiscent of remember Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yeah.
like when he was out of space and everything. That like they had that like the last episode was the finale, like the symbiote explosion on that planet and everything, and it was supposed to have something else happen, but like nothing else happened.
Yeah. And
And
that
like,
usually happens. They kind of build up for like a season two, but a season two doesn't happen. Okay, now we got some interesting ones coming up.
so this is getting interesting now. Okay, so
But this one's easy.
this is easy. Like Johnny Test, don't get me wrong. I don't know why the internet hates Johnny. Like
It's not that bad.
it's not that bad. It gets a lot of hate on the internet. Like people sit here like, oh my god, you watch Johnny Test, you have a mental disorder or some shit like that. Johnny Test was an all right show and everything. Don't get me wrong, they use a lot, they replayed a lot of shit too often and everything, use too many gags too often and everything. but it was an all right show for what it was, and it was okay to have on. Boondocks, there's no discussion compared to that.
Yeah,
Golden
yeah.
show, season 1 through 3, like top tier comedy, top tier content, and they were talking about shit that's still relevant today.
Mm-hmm.
They did a whole bunch of a lot of shit, so we don't even have to discuss this. That's Boondocks.
Yeah, most definitely.
This is a simple one too, I should say, because
And Simpsons. I mean, Lilo Stitch, the series, I vaguely remember, but I mean, Simpsons is it's the Simpsons. I mean,
Simpsons is the
it's no
Simpsons.
beating that.
Like I remember the Lilo Stitch thing because I remember like I was really big. I even had like the little like paper or pamphlet or whatever that had all like the different like stitches, like alien brothers and sisters or some shit like that. Like, cause remember it's like a bunch of them and everything. So like literally the whole series had to go get them before the bad guys get them and turn them evil or some shit like that. And after that, give them like jobs to do in the world and everything. And yeah, but it was an all right show on Disney, but it's nothing memorable or goated enough that you're going over the Simpsons. Like the Simpsons is one of like
Yeah,
top tier cartoons of all time. But yeah, now this is a little bit more interesting. Am I wrong?
yeah,
Like K and D. Oh my god, that show was so fucking good. Like literally the whole concept of it, how they came up with acronyms every episode, how they had like all the premises just to make simple things into like missions and everything, like schoolwork and all the other stuff. And then after that, it's just like the potential. I wish they would have done uh Galactic Candy, but
yeah,
heck, it didn't happen. Gumball is a great show, and like it's really good for today's thing. I love like all like currencies and beginning of it. It breaks the fourth wall a lot. It's relatable. It's funny, but it's gonna have to be Candy for me. How about you?
See, and maybe this is partly because I didn't really grow up with Candy. I do remember like watching it when it came on, but I think more so for me, I'm more so on Gumball side because Gumball 2 for like not only is it like extremely funny for what it is, it also has a lot of social commentary
Yep.
about a lot of stuff and a lot of cartoons like especially like a lot of cartoons now more so doesn't show the social commentary kind of like how Gumball does. And so in terms of like it's in humor, but not only like social commentary, they talk on political stuff, different things like that, but able to show it in like an interesting way that both adults and kids can enjoy and understand. And I don't remember too much from Candy from back when I was growing up. I did watch it and I did think it was enjoyable and I think Candy in terms of like the whole concept and stuff is interesting, but just the base off of the amount that Gumball is just already done. And personally to me, I just think Gumball is a funnier show than K and D because it's just really ridiculous sometimes, and like the whole world is a lot more creative because you got to think like the whole world is just a mosh podge of different basically ideas. You have
You have
anime
animated
characters.
claymation. What's saying even like the faces of people and everything and all that. It's a dope concept. It's just you like. I mean, like I said, you didn't watch K and D, so like if you remember like the amount of references they made to anime, to other cartoons, and all the other shit, it's just like for me, I'm gonna have like it's just like Candy for me, bruh. I don't know. Like, let's say that's just a show. Like, I love Gumball. I'm not disrespecting it, but it's just Candy for me. So, rock paper scissors to see what goes next.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Rock
Rock,
paper
paper,
scissors shoot.
shoot,
What you got?
scissors.
Damn.
And
Gumball, it is, people.
this one's also an interesting one.
Now this is gonna be hard.
I know which one's the better show,
I
but
mean, it's Avatar the better show, yes, but OG Teen Titans peak Cartoon Network content, peak cartoon content, like character development, plot development, hero development. It was just a fun. It was funny. It was relatable. It knew when to get deep. It knew when to get dark, and it was just a great show overall. Avatar, same diff.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is Avatar is like the better show though, because my thing is more seasons. They did a little bit better stuff with some characters and everything, and every character got proper character development. Because in Teen Titans, only person who didn't get really character development, I'll say, was like Starfire, because she never got like she got some character development, but she never like every character had their own season except Starfire.
Yeah, it's basically Robin was first season. I believe
Like
Beast Boy
he,
and Terror was like a mix of second and was like I think either second or third, and then Cyborg had the whole brother blood thing
yep, what's in
and like
Titan
one
Z's and all
season,
that.
and then
And
Raven
Raven
had
had the Trigon thing with her father, was saying her father Trigon and Slade, and then we had the end with Beast Boy.
again, which
Or
I would call that a Beast Boy arc because that more so it encompasses everyone, but it really stems from Beast Boy since he was part of Doom Patrol.
yep, that's the main thing. But like my thing is, like I said, Starfire at the most probably got 5 episodes because she got like the two where Blackfire came, the one where she went to the future, and that one episode where she had like zits or some shit like that, and that's
And
it.
she got married
Oh
at
yeah, and
one
she got
time.
married. But that's the second episode with Blackfire.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's. I think I ended up watching like a whole review on the seasons of it, by this guy named Loart, and he kind of accurately explains like it's a show that kind of starts out strong,
it
but
does.
then a lot of the concepts it just starts to kind of whittle out
It does
at
try
the
to
end.
trail off though. Yeah, like at first it hits hard, like when we have the whole like team together and that they have Robin, Slade stuff and everything. Then it does start to whittle out a little bit. I'd say it gets better because I didn't really like as far as Brother Blood arc, it was alright to me. The Trigon arc was really good. I liked the Trigon.
Yeah, Trigon arc was good. The Beast Boy and Terra stuff was okay.
Yep,
The final arc was very good, even
yep,
though because that's
it,
when we that was the probably the most interesting because the Brother Blood was like kind of opening up the universe a bit
yep,
with Titans East, but then we
yep.
actually got more stuff from it, and I think that was very interesting. But I mean, the ending too is just also just a big L for it. More so that we had that final ending of Things Change, which was
Yep.
supposed to lead into season 6, and that's also like a big thing because if it would have ended off of the 2-part special at the very end fight,
That's what I'm
that
saying.
was
Like
the perfect ending.
that was a perfect ending because my thing is it was Titans together. We have a whole bunch of different squads and everything, a whole bunch of different leagues as far as the new generation of heroes. And it would have been dope. But then after that, next episode, we have some girl who's Terra, but she's not Terra, and Beast Boy is simping over her again because be honest, he
I
was
think I think it was confirmed that it is her.
you
She
know
just doesn't want
it
anything to do
yeah,
with him.
like well, it is her. Like they confirmed it and everything. But like my thing is like it started off like that. That they like, all right, I'm gonna go back and keep fighting crime, and I was like, we did not need this episode.
Well,
So
it also just left a lot more questions that needed to be answered.
like how
That
she
was my biggest issue. Like, how'd she
like
come
she
back,
come
and what's
back?
that monster
Yes.
that they're fighting? Because they're fighting something like completely different from
Yeah.
what they were supposed to be, or from what they've seen.
It was supposed to
So
like some kind of like a mazo blob kind of monster. Like it kept adapting and kept getting powers and shit like that.
yeah,
But as far as comparison, Avatar is gonna have to be it for me. How about you, man?
yeah, same.
All right. So we moving down. Okay. So this is not a competition.
Yeah,
Not a competition at all. The first season of American Dragon, Jake Long was decent. Like rewatching it, it's a decent show. It's a decent show. I'm not gonna say it's a good thing for what the time it was. It's a great thing. Was saying back growing up and Disney and everything, good time, but like back when Disney was still like making great ass cartoons and shit. But the first season was good. After they did the redesign for whoever asked for it, it went downhill because my thing is he from a dragon, like okay, he has like the stature, he's big a little bit. All right, cool, cool.
yeah.
This being some lizard with wings, which I mean that yes, that's what a dragon is, but no.
Well, I ended up because the reason why they ended up doing the redesign was because they wanted to make Jake look more inexperienced as it because like as he looked like he already had everything down like he was the he was the man and all that and then they did that from because I was just watching some stuff recently on American Dragon, and I know like the redesign for specifically like Jake and stuff were kind of weird, which were thing, but like most of the other characters ended up looking a lot better. Like
Yeah,
his friends, like the whole art style change in general was
yeah,
like not bad for the show because a lot of characters who just kind of look like
yeah,
real like, and then like the animation style made it more easier to like animate fights and things of that nature to make them more fluent.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean Family Guy is Family Guy.
yeah. That's true. That's true. So Cleveland Show versus Fairly Odd Parents. That's not even
Yeah,
competition to me.
Fairly Odd Parents is
Like Cleveland Show was a good like the first I'll say one two actually kind of toward the end was alright. It was a decent attempt, but my thing is it was like they tried to make a show. I understand what they were going for. It's supposed to be the black family guy for black people, and it hit sometimes, but it was like most of the time like, yo, these are jokes written for white people, bro. But my thing is, you can't really tell unless you really get people of color on the staff to make the episodes, give input and everything and all that. That's how you get a more interactive appeal for that. Because my thing is, it felt sometimes they were out of touch on some of the episodes, and on top of that, they can only go so far without being offensive,
yeah.
like what seemed like derogatory and everything. So yeah, Fairly Odd Parents, the OG Fairly Odd Parents before it got convoluted as fuck was that's just like top tier that's just top tier cartoons and everything and all that. Like back when it was just Cosmo, Wanda, Timmy, that's it. And he has to deal with what's name Vicky, he has to deal with his parents, deal with Crocker. That's cool. Before you have Poof, a dog, some him sharing the godparents and all that.
Yeah, Poof was fine. I think Poof was a fine addition.
Poof was fine for like
The dog is like when I crossed the line, I was like, all right, we doing too much now.
yeah.
Yeah, just trying to make it stay relevant at this point.
Heck man, they made that man Butch Hartman whore that shit out until he was like, I'm done.
Now we don't even talk about him.
I mean, heck, he's on YouTube now and everything because he's like, yeah, I'm just doing whatever. I was
he's
I
yeah,
wish
he's go ahead.
no go ahead. Oh, I was saying I wish they would bring back Danny Phantom like as a Netflix show. Like if they did a live action Danny Phantom or they brought it back like for like a made it like more mature, I would be down for it. But
Hmm. Yeah, like Butch Hartman, like he got in some mess because he was trying to make like a Christian streaming service or whatever, and he didn't really tell people what it was before people started donating to it.
oh shit, I
And
ain't
then
know about
all
this.
that, and then yeah, it you should look it up. There's a lot of interesting information on it, but Butch Hartman's kind of trash, low key.
I
Love the
mean,
work that he's done,
love the
but
work, but heck, man, I mean, Nickelodeon, step your game up, man, because Butch Hartman, Dan Schneider, and everything, and yeah,
a
like,
lot of messy
I
situations.
mess
But
situation. I'm not getting about Dan. So all right, we getting past the first round. We get
yeah,
first round of the semifinals. Well, no, this is the quarterfinals. So this is the first. What's this? The quarterfinal. We got first past the first round. We're in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals. So first up
yeah,
in this forever is Ben 10. I'm about to go Ben 10, bro.
yeah. I'm Ben 10 too. I love Phineas and Ferb, but Ben 10 is just more so. That's just definitely like Phineas and Ferb is an amazing show. Don't get me wrong. I
I
love this show, and for Phineas and Ferb is one of the biggest shows that literally has the same formula every episode, but it just does not get old
yep.
for whatever reason. It's just the same formula every episode, but it does not get old, and that's the crazy thing about it.
Like Ben,
So
like I like be honest with you, I haven't really watched. I watched Phineas Ferb a little bit growing up, but I didn't watch it that much. Ben 10, like all right, I've said it multiple times how I feel about it. Like Ben 10's one of my favorite shows of all time. So that's just no
yeah,
competition. Now this is interesting. The better show is this guy right here. But in
hmm
terms of like laughs, like memorabilia and everything, and how much I love this show, I'm gonna go with Ed and Eddie. I'm sorry.
I'll go with Ed and Eddie for right now. Mainly because Ed and Eddie also has a very interesting concept too, which I
Yeah.
think, the fact that there's like a lot of theories that came around the fact that there's no parents around,
Yep.
and they go to the school but they're their only kids, even though they're supposed to be teachers and all that. It's
Yep.
very interesting, and I think more so I've seen probably a lot more Ed and Eddie than I've seen of Adventure Time, so I definitely go Ed and Eddie for this. I'll give you this one for the
Yeah.
For the Gumball one.
All right, bet. I mean, heck, Ed, Ed, and Eddie, they woke up every day and said, "Let's commit fraud for 25 cents."
Yep.
Hey, bro. All right, let's get down to it.
Ah, I love SpongeBob, but I kind of like
Like
regular show
regular
a bit
show,
more.
same. Should we go with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it interesting because if that's the case, SpongeBob about to just win.
I mean, my thing is SpongeBob's like OG SpongeBob's a great ass show. It's like the best cartoon of all time, but I fucking love regular show a lot more.
Yeah, I mean the problem is with SpongeBob is that for a lot of the series on this list, SpongeBob is one of the longest
Longest.
runnings, but it doesn't have consistency
It
in
really does
terms of
not.
like it definitely has a falling off point during the mid, and from what I've seen from some people that the more recent episodes are like kind of getting that type of humor back from what it had like the first couple seasons. I know Bubble Bass was brought back,
Yeah,
and they had a My Leg guy with the My Leg guy episode, which
yeah.
was interesting. But I mean, outside of that,
Because like they're picking up on like the internet and the memes and everything and putting that back into it. Because funny enough, SpongeBob has like it transcended to the internet, and then after it took what made the internet made it and everything as far as memes and put it back into the show. So which is good, but my thing is that 2000, the early 2000s to what's the name to I'll say 2005 was like the golden era. Then they started trailing off a little bit. I'll say 2010, 11, 2010, probably 12 was like the last time it was decent. That trailed off for a while, but it's
mhm.
here's getting better. But like I said, regular show has to be it for me.
Yeah, same.
So we already know what's about to go down here
Yeah, Steven Universe about to go up this
because
spot.
we
Just
ain't
because we
even
haven't
watched
seen
this yet.
Gravity Falls, yeah, fully. So
So no disrespect, Gravity Fall fans. We just haven't seen the show. I mean, I've heard comparisons between both shows and everything. I've just seen this one. I haven't seen. I've seen like clips. I've seen memes of both, but I haven't really seen it. So Steven Universe for me. Steven Universe for the man Chris. So we
yeah.
down. Now, this is interesting. Now, this is like looking in the mirror a little bit because of what they represent as far as comedy, the commentary, as far as culture wise and everything, from just like from being an African American individual, also being white, and also just being living in America together at all. But like I love both of these things, but I'm gonna have to go with the Boondocks. How about you, man?
I think same. I think Boondocks for what it is, even though South Park does hit some like points and all that, I think Boondocks for me, I just find it a lot more enjoyable. I think it's funnier than South Park. I just
Yeah,
think it hits a lot more notes for me than South Park does. But
it really does. It really does. So yeah, Boondocks, Rick and Morty versus Simpsons. Now, Simpsons, it's been on for years. Like we're going on. It was premiered in 1989, so we're in 2021. So it will technically, when 2029 will be 40 years. It's been on TV. If it makes it that long, which it can be because they keep dragging along and making new stuff and everything, which is I've heard sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but most of the time it's subpar. As far as Rick and Morty, I would watch Rick and Morty any day of the week before I watch The Simpsons because like Rick and Morty is a lot more enjoyable. As far as the more it's starting to trail off a little bit, I'll admit that. Like last season wasn't. It had some points that was all right, but like it didn't really hit as hard as the other ones did. The last episode was good. Last episode was good, but other than that, yeah.
is it still ongoing or is it did it end? With
Rick and Morty,
yeah, is it still ongoing?
it's still ongoing and they renewed, but like they take like literally they take their time, which I'm appreciative of. But my thing is, the more time you take, the less like what's in the less you get. Like I understand you want to take your time. You don't want to keep pushing out stuff day by like what's in year by year and everything to overload. What's in saturated content, you dull it down. But my thing is, if you take like 2.5 years to release a season every time, that's a little bit crazy. Like for 10 episodes, like unless you go about to do 20, because they're renewed for like. Because I remember when they did season 3, they were renewed until like season 7. But yeah,
True. Yeah, I'm a Rick and Morty too.
yeah. It is. So let's move down. We are here. So we're back at Gumball.
Yeah.
versus Family Guy.
So my thing is that Family Guy is good, but the current state of Family Guy just is like for me like consistency is a thing throughout. And if you're long running too, you need to at least be like you're like it has very great moments, but I feel like because of the fall off that Family Guy has had, like obviously there should be no like argument for me that old Family Guy is better than new Family Guy. Like
Yeah,
there's
that's
just the
just
type of
facts.
humor exchange. It's just factual information.
That's facts.
It's just not as funny as it used to be. And for me, I think kind of Gumball, you can make an argument. It's kind of like a Family Guy light in a lot of ways in terms of the concepts that they hit, type of discussions they do in terms of the commentary and things like that. But more so like in a kiddish way, not
Yeah,
as vulgar, not as stuff. I would have to say Gumball. I like Family Guy, but I think like for the fact that consistency for me is not that good
yeah.
right now, and the current state of Family Guy is just like,
I
and
know,
it's
but
just currently gonna get worse and worse.
it will, because like my thing is going to keep, like, it's been renewed and everything. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it has its moments. It has its moments. But
Yeah,
it's like for me, Family Guy. Like I can still watch Family Guy any day of the week, and I can still watch Gumball any day of the week. It's
yeah,
Family Guy to me. I would say I would take a little bit more of a Gumball, like as far as like OG to a little bit current right now, because some current episodes are all right. But I'll say Family Guy for me. So we're going to rock paper scissors for this one again.
we can go for Family Guy. We can go for Family Guy this one.
No, you know what? You was saying we put what's same last time. We're gonna put let's make it interesting. Let's put Gumball here.
All right.
It's gonna get phased out by something else, but still.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Even Family Guy is gonna get phased out. So
Yeah. So Avatar versus Fairly Odd Parents, that's no competition.
yeah, it's very Odd Parents is good, but Avatar is just more so just great in its own right.
Yeah.
And
That's just a goated ass like show. Like from start to finish,
yeah,
it's just good character development, good plot points, so many like memorable moments, so much impact. It's like so many things and all that. Fairly Odd Parents, OG Fairly Odd Parents was good when it was just the three of them. And at that, like they had like remember they had the Channel Chasers movie.
yeah.
That shit was lit as fuck. And then after that, the back when Jimmy Neutron was on the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour joints, because they had like three of them. Them shits was lit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, like, that's his family. That's his Fairly Odd Parents. But we are now made it to the quarter finals.
Oh,
Oh my god! Now
I'm a have to say I gotta go with regular show. I love Ben 10, but I just think regular shows just I just love regular show. Like
I
that
love
kind of
both.
like
Like these are like in my list. These are like one of my. These are top 5 Cartoon Network shows of all time. They're in my top 10 list. It's my top cartoons at all time and everything. So like Ben 10, my childhood is screaming Ben 10, but my teenage years is screaming regular show. And they're both arguing, saying, "Hey, yo, bro, you better pick the right one." But I'm gonna have to go with you regular show, bro, because I mean I'm looking
yeah.
at my teenage years and all that. So boom, regular show. Mordecai, stop stimping. But next up, I mean, this ain't a competition. Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, I love Steven Universe, but Ed and Eddie's like it's too goaded. That's the problem. Like,
It's a goated ass show, and in terms of what I can put on and not have to really like, oh my god, I have to pay attention because Steven's learning his power or Garden and them are going through this and that. I can just watch Ed and Eddie and just be kicking it, bro.
yeah,
All right, let's move on. So we already knew it was gonna get washed out eventually.
yeah. I have to go with Boone. Gumball's really good, and this is close, but I gotta go with Boondocks for this one.
That's true. That's true. Rick and Morty versus Avatar. Now, this is just like I said, Rick and Morty is a good show, but my thing is, as far as versus Avatar, Avatar's clearly the better show as far as all that. And like I understand Rick and Morty's going for comedy while Avatar's more for like action, adventure, drama, and everything.
Hmm.
But like I had to be Avatar for me. How about you?
I think so too. I think Rick and Morty, especially with later seasons, start to kind of it has interesting plot points and stuff, but I think like not a lot of them hit
Yep.
at sometimes, and this has kind of just been an issue that it's had. Oh, excuse me, like comedy wise in general. So yeah, I'd have to go with Avatar as well.
Hey man, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. So Avatar. All right. All right. We in the semis. Second round of the semis.
So
God damn. Now this is hard. Now on the left side, we got regular show versus Boondocks. Now that's my teenage, like what's these are both happening during my teenage years. Regular show is such a fucking good show. But the Boondocks is just like a goaded ass show. That's the difference.
yeah, that's like I think.
I'm going to go Boondocks. Like
Cause
I'm
I'm trying to think about like all the whole overarching plots that we had, and to be honest, both seasons I think suffer with kind of messy final seasons,
yep. Like
because even regular show's final season is kind of like
the whole pops
out of left field.
like what's saying I don't know where pops is a reincarnated god, and then after that they get back to Earth, and all that happens, and they grow up and get married, have kids, and they leave the park, and which is cool. But my thing is that was just like literally out of left field, like a motherfucker. Like my thing is Adventure Time will at least teach. Like I'm wrong, they did say in later interviews they just came up with that like because they said they teased it earlier. Like, remember the whole? Well, I mean, I don't know if you finished Adventure Time. You didn't finish Adventure Time, did you?
No, I didn't.
Uh,
That's a show I need to finish.
did you finish? Like, did you get to the part where Gunter's the villain?
I know there were hints of that, of him like being evil, but I
Yeah.
didn't know if they actually did something with that.
So, like, what's remember like in the first season when Marceline's dad is just eating souls, and after he sees Gunter, like, you are the most evil being I have ever come across in my life. Join me, Dark One, and everything. So basically, Gunter, that specific penguin, Gunter, the main OG one, the main one, he's basically an intergalactic alien that what's the name comes across what's the name that's in space that usually just destroys planets and eats up power sources and is always seeking the ultimate power, and it was trying to come to like I think Earth or something until uh Abraham Lincoln, which you know who's the president of Mars, says fuck no and
Mm.
sent that little what's the name guy after him and what's the name knocked him down to Earth, and that turned him into Gunter, a penguin for some reason. And like I said, Adventure Time, they teased it. I'm wrong. They said they admitted later on, like, yeah, we were just joke, like wasn't we teased it, but I thought we was like, let's go take it somewhere else with it and everything and all that. But like regular show, they never teased that like Pops was a god. I don't know where this. I don't know where this.
Well, yeah, like I didn't watch any of the final season. I only ended up watching. I think I watched like pretty much all of regular show for the most part, and then I remember when I saw that they were having a finale of regular show on TV. Me and my boy, we tuned into the finale. You can really just watch all the regular show and then not the last season and just watch the finale
Yep.
and then just be fine. So,
Yep.
um,
Boondocks, on the other hand, like my thing is the creator left the show because he wanted to do Black Jesus and everything, which that's an alright show. That was an alright show, but season 4 was really not that good. And they tried to have like a I understand they want to go for a plot and everything like that last season, but it wasn't really good for that. And I was like, yeah, and it was just a lot of stuff that did not hit. So I'm gonna have to say, like, don't get me wrong, both of them had bad last seasons, but it's just as far as a goated show, I'm gonna have to go with the Boondocks, man.
yeah, I kind of figure I'm about the same. It's like very close for me too, but I think I'm about to go Boondocks too.
Yep. Now this shouldn't be a competition because Avatar is clearly the better show, but Ed Nettie, bro. I mean, that's my horse.
Oh my god!
Horse,
Like
bro.
I, I can already tell what's gonna win this whole thing, just based off of what our last decision was. But I don't know. I think for this specifically, specifically too. I don't know. I for me, I'm gonna have to be Team Avatar. Like I've just enjoyed this show so much, and it's a show that I've like hadn't watched for like a couple years, and then went back and watched
It's
it,
still
and
a
then
great
still got
show.
it. Yeah, and still got the same enjoyment out of it in terms of just watching it beginning from
It's
end
the
and
end. Yeah.
remembering that stuff. Yeah, and
Like
like with Ed and Eddie, it does have like a lot of like interesting moments. I don't know. It just won't. It just doesn't hit as much as Avatar does for me.
Avatar, because my thing is Ed, Edd n Eddy only takes you on like one spectrum. That's only comedy, really. Like
Yeah.
the final movie takes you a little bit emotional. Like what's name? You see, like Eddie finally admit that like only reason why he did this because he wanted to be like his brother, even though his brother always treated him like shit, and he was trying to fit in and everything. And I was like, oh damn, that's sad. But Avatar hit on all levels though. Like you had comedy, you had drama, you had emotions, like
Mhm.
the scene where Zuko meets Iroh after like like what's name after Iroh's like what's name joined up with the White Lotus and everything. He's like, hey uncle, I just came to talk to you and everything. That they meet up, they hug, they cry, and it just hits. Is like, I'm so sorry I turned on you. I'm not sorry. I was scared that you lost your way, and it was just that shit. It tugs on the heartstrings and everything. It's just like you understand my childhood is screaming at Ed and Eddie because like I said, that's one of my top favorite shows ever. But
Yeah.
I'm about to go with Avatar, and we are at the finals. Boondocks versus the Avatar Last Airbender. On one side, you have one of the goaded moments. You have I like you and I want you. We can do this easy way or the hard way. Choice is yours. Uh, what's the name? Homies over hoes. Be hey, bro, you guys, I'm a pimp named Schlettback. You got so many golden moments. Joe. On the right, we have Avatar. You have young Aang from when it's just he pops out the iceberg after being in drain 100 years, links up with Katara and Wasaka and everything. And after that, they get Toph to join the gang. They get Zuko to join the gang. They go through all the different things. They go through the North Water tribe. They go through Ba Sing Se. They go through the Eclipse. They go through Sozin's Comet together to end the story. And it's just so many great moments. And the way to go on this, that's just the background. Chris, talk to the people, man. I'm still what's confused where I'm gonna pick.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel well. Avatar is such a cop out. I'm gonna be honest. Like thinking
It,
that
it
is like it's such a
is
cop out, and like even though I enjoyed that show very well, the 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 social commentary and stuff, and actually just going back recently, like a couple weeks ago, and watching like
the Boondocks and
the
everything.
early Boondocks,
Yep.
like both still have relevancy like today, but I think also being black and like kind of understanding a lot of stuff that happens in the Boondocks. I mean, I'm gonna go with Boondocks. That's gonna be my pick. I love Avatar, but I think also too like there's no telling, there's no discussion that that shows like
It's
probably one of the
easy.
best animated shows of all time. But
Yep.
if I'm talking off of pure enjoyment, I
Permit.
think I'm just gonna go with Boondocks.
And like I said, great ass show. So many moments. Hits on so many different spectrums. But the commentary, the moments, the goaded moments of this show, and everything. Like from season 3 is when they broke the mold. Like that. That's like the like one of the best moments. Like that's like one of the best moments of like I'll say cartoon history of all time. Because season 3, like they were just pushing the envelope. I mean, you had um let me see, you had rags to bitch. What's name? Bitches to rags. You had the fundraiser episode. You had the fried chicken special, the fried chicken episode. You
Tyler Perry.
yeah, you had the oh my god. What's name? The funny thing is, unless you own that, you can't find it anywhere because what's name had that band, Tyler
Oh
Perry.
no, well, it's on HBO Max, so you can see it on HBO Max.
Oh, I'm surprised because I remember they got it pulled at first because like what's the name? He had requested to get it pulled because he really hated that sketch. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah, there's a nut. I think there's two. I think at the end of season 2, which is like, and the only reason I knew about it was because I had like a bootleg copy of season 2 for Boondocks, and it's literally like BET, but they're like
Oh yeah, I
a
saw that one
devil
too.
corporation, and it's
Yeah,
like a two-parter.
yeah, I saw that. What's name? That's the one with the Uncle Ruckus and everything and all that. Like what's name?
Yeah.
Just finds out he's black and they do DNA tests and everything. It's like he tried to hang himself or some shit like that. And that they say we're not BAT, we're black evil television. Because I remember I got that. Like must say my father owns all 3 seasons and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the name? Season 2, I remember like you said there, it's like this is black nigga and evil bitch. And after that, like literally they sit here beating that nigga up and everything because he said something bad in the meeting. Like I said, this is it, the Boondocks.
Yeah.
Out of all these cartoons we have spoken, out of bracket fights, we're saying if you want to, we're saying create your own brackets or do any brackets, I recommend going here. But out of all these cartoons from Over the Garden Wall, Phineas and Ferb, Kim Possible, Ben 10, Total Drama Island, Regular Show, SpongeBob, Powerpuff Girls, South Park, Paradise, Johnny Test, Amazing World Gumball, K&D, Family Guy, American Dragon, Jake Long, Fairly Odd Parents, Cleveland Show, Teen Titans, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Lilo Stitch, Simpsons. What's the name of the show again? It breaks my mind right sometimes.
Super Robot Monkey Team, Hyperforce Go.
Yep, that guy. Rick and Morty, Steven Universe, Dexter's Lab, Star Forces versus Evil, Gravity Falls, American Dad, Adventure Time, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Scooby Doo Misincorporated. Boondocks is, in our opinion, the greatest cartoon out of all of these. These are our opinions. Everybody has one. If you don't like ours, well, that's on you. You have your own what's same opinions about different things. I guarantee some of y'all would have put this at the greatest cartoon because you, who knows, you might be weird or some shit. I might be shit on the whole fan base, but at me on that. I've never heard of you. But everybody else, you got some love and everything. But other than that, that's the first bracket fights we're going to do on this channel. It's me and the homie Chris signing off from the Blerdiverse. Chris, you got some final words to talk to the people?
Stay hydrated and be safe. Wash your hands.
Heck, man. Stay hydrated, stay safe, wash your hands. Other than that, we out. Take care. Stay lit. Like, comment, share, subscribe, because we trying to get out there. Peace.